So, hey guys, welcome back to the spare room. Part 2 of this indicator stand or indicator holder builder. Bit of work in it, but we're getting there. First part come out pretty jolly nice. That's good. Second part's these two washers. I'm going to break this down and give a sort of a blow-by-blow account, because I know that there's a few people watching this that are looking for first tool making projects, and I'm going to break this down a bit, so expect videos that I hope are not too long about parts that are very, very simple. Two washers, 12mm in bronze, doesn't say what sort. Don't think it matters. I've got a bit of PB1 there, it's nice. Brass would probably do, but it marks up a bit quick. So it's 12mm, this is 14, so they're not very big washers. Have a look. 5mm hole, 2mm thick, 0.5mm 45-degree chamfer. Fairly quick and easy to do, but there are some little challenges in these. First thing is getting them parallel. Machining the backs and getting them parallel. What I'm going to do is chuck this up, face the end, and drill it down 4.9 and run a reamer in it to 5mm. And put a chamfer on them and part them off. And do that again. Then I'm going to make up a sort of an emergency collet sort of system like we did last time to hold them the other way around. These are probably a little bit more critical. And face the back of them to thickness, and we're going to call these parts finished. So let's have a look and see. Very easy part to say on a part like this, oh, that looks about 12mm, that'll do. It's not, and it's a really smart idea to practice hitting your tolerance every time, because then when you do need to do it, it won't be anywhere near as daunting as it used to be. So that's 13.05, it still needs a millimetre off it. And 12.02, which will do us millimetres. That's pretty jolly close. I'm using a spot drill a lot for this project. It's sort of fulfills all the requirements. I could just as easy use a centre drill to start the drill, and the end of the centre drill is probably a smart idea because it's the right angle for your drill. This one's not, but a big solid drill with a strong taper on it, or a sharp taper, will get you on centre a lot quicker than just using a drill. So always spot, and if you can get a couple of 90-degree spot drills, they don't have to be that big. That one's an 8mm, but if you can get a couple, they make pretty short work of that. So the only reamer I've got is a Morse taper one, because they come at the right spot and the right place. And at the right price. So if you get opportunity to buy new hand tools or machine tools at the right price, jump at it, because even though this is a Morse taper reamer, we could put the Morse taper, if you had a Morse taper trail stock, you could put that in there. Anyone who knows much about my lathe knows I don't, so this is how I'm going to do it. Still got a centre hole in the end here, so we can put this in. Now, the secret to looking after your reamers is not to run them backwards. So always forwards, and that should give us a nice 5mm hole. And put them back in the box when you're done. I've just put a little chamfer on with my straight turn on it, my straight tool on an angle, and as long as you've got them registering in exactly the same spot, they'll look the same. And that's what's important with these, is that the chamfers look the same. Nothing else really matters. The hole size is not particularly critical. The thickness is, but I'll show you how to make sure that's right in a minute. But so same deal as before. Touch him off. If you're fussy, just get a powder or a piece of high-speed steel and touch him off on the back there. Isn't a bad idea, but touch him off. A bit of writing paper or cigarette paper or something on there if you're worried about scratching it. And then know the thickness of your parting blade and wind in that way, that amount, and then we need to go another 2mm. I'm going to go 2.4, and that'll give us a little bit of space to clean him up on the back. It's counterproductive to guess it and then discover that one of them is actually a fraction short, and it's the second one you've done, and you've got to put the other one back in and chuck him and face it again. So measuring it takes very little time and saves quite a lot of effort. That's the first one, and it's got a burr on the back nicely like that. Rub through with the reamer will take that off, and you might find that your parting off surface is plenty good enough. I'm sure Stefan's would be. I'm going to machine the back of them, because I would be very, very suspicious that this parting tool will leave a curved face. It certainly has on this one. It's only touched it on the inside edge, so there's a pretty good chance that it's either bell mouthed or dished, and that's why I've left a little bit on them to face off later. If they're not right, you'll end up with a mark on your mating part, or you'll end up with something that doesn't go tight. and that sort of making them out of bronze. Just a little bit of a waste of time. They seem to match pretty nice. And that's the second one. We take this out. Next job's another pretty quick, easy emergency collet, and make this one a little bit longer. And if I just face it off, and we're going to machine it nearly all the way through, a bit smaller than the washer. So if we drill it all the way through, and we're going to put shoulder on the outside like that. Part it off. What we can do is turn this around . And we've got a location there for our position on the washer, so every time we take this out and put a new washer in, we don't have to adjust the tool to get them all the same thickness. So if we face the first one off, we can put the other one back in and face that one off too, and get them both exactly the same. That's the science behind that. So let's face this off nicely. The washer's 12mm, so if we drill this through all the way to 9mm, and find a nice 12mm drill, we want to go in there nicely about 1.5mm. If we slip this, then we've got an emergency collet for washers. It took, what, 5 minutes to make. You can chuck it out afterwards if you want, or you can keep them in a box. And every time we put this in and do up the other washer, it's going to be on the right place, so we can just face it. So that'll give us a uniform thickness all the way through. So let's just slit in with a hacksaw. A quick and careful deburr in the corner is important, or you'll have a burr there that sticks one side of it up, and that's not going to be particularly nice. Second one, and we can keep going. So making more than one part, smart little jigs like this, so very, 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 very useful. Going to run that reamer through there again just by hand, clean everything up, and take him apart, and we'll have a look over at the bench. So there we go, it's two little washers. I've actually cleaned them up a little bit on the front with a little bit of emery paper. Just gave them a few circle rubs. I gave them a few circle rubs around in a circle, and I've deburred them nicely. Mostly all that needed was to run the reamer through them with my fingers again, and a quick run round with the deburring tool. So to finish these, I'm going to bung them in the rotary tumbler. We're going to cover finishing in a little bit more detail in a video towards the end, and they're ready to go. So that's another couple of bits. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. More soon. I want to get this finished pretty quick, so we'll get onto it. Big thanks to Stefan Gtwr for being a good sport and providing drawings. And be kind to each other. More soon, guys and girls.